Well, hello again and welcome back. I've been waiting for you here in Grammie's Book Nook. I am going to spend a few days reading this tiny little book. It doesn't look like much, but it's a very funny and sweet book. It's about a little puppy, and the name of the book is Absolutely Lucy. And let me just see who wrote this book. Oh my goodness, it's written by a lady named Ilene Cooper. And it's not a picture book. So, when I'm reading it, you're going to have to use, you know what, your imagination to picture what's happening. Every time I read a book about Lucy, it always makes me laugh. So I think you'll find some things to laugh about when I'm reading this book too. And for any of you who have ever had a puppy, you'll definitely recognize some things that are happening. And I want to do a big shout out to one of my special friends who just happens to have a dog named Lucy, and the little girl's name is Evie. Hi, Evie. So let's get started on our puppy adventure. Is everybody ready? I need to get ready. Gotta put on my Grammie reading glasses. Okie dokie, get settled in. Absolutely Lucy. Bobby Quinn didn't have any friends. He was very, very shy. He'd been shy for as long as he could remember. He was very shy when he was 3 years old. His relatives would come to visit the Quinns for Thanksgiving, and Bobby would run into his bedroom and crawl under his bed. "Bobby, Bobby, come on out and say hello," his mother would say. But nobody could make him come out. Bobby was very shy when he was 5 years old. On the first day of kindergarten, Bobby cried. He didn't want his mother to leave. He didn't want to meet any of the children in his class. "But Bobby," his mother said, "don't you want to make new friends?" "Absolutely not." Absolutely was the biggest word Bobby knew, and he used it whenever he could. Bobby cried every single day for a whole month. When he stopped crying, it was too late. By then, none of the children wanted to meet him, and they called him Bobby Crybaby. Bobby was very shy in the first grade, and he was very shy in the second grade too. He kept his head down, and he didn't look up at all, even when the teacher called on him. After school, Bobby did his homework. He spent the rest of his time drawing. He was very, very good at drawing. He drew dinosaurs and fast cars. When second grade was over, Mrs. Quinn wanted Bobby to go to camp. "Absolutely not," Bobby said. "Well, what are you going to do all day?" Mrs. Quinn asked. "Well, I will just read and I'll draw," Bobby answered. Mrs. Quinn sighed. "Bobby, that sounds a little lonely." Well, Bobby didn't think it sounded lonely at all. In fact, he thought it sounded great. He was very happy when his parents said that he didn't have to go to camp. One hot day in July, Bobby was sitting at his desk, and he was drawing a big dinosaur with lots of spikes on its back, and his mother came into his room. "It's such a nice day," she said. "Why don't you go out and play?" "I don't want to go out and play," Bobby said. He didn't look up from his drawing, and then his mother tried again. "Have you seen the new children who moved in across the street? They're setting up a volleyball net. Should we go and introduce ourselves?" Bobby just shook his head no. Oh, Bobby, if you don't try to be friendly, you're never going to have any friends. Doesn't that bother you? Mrs. Quinn asked. I don't need any friends, Bobby whispered. And his mother just left and closed the door behind her. But when he was alone in his room, he put his pencil down and looked out the window. What he said to his mother wasn't really true. He would like to make a friend, but he just didn't know how. Bobby's 8th birthday came in the middle of July. His parents invited the relatives over for a party in the backyard. Bobby had 3 cousins, Ryan and Brian, who were 12-year-old twins. But they didn't pay too much attention to Bobby. His cousin Jenny was only 4, and she paid way too much attention to Bobby. She followed him around wherever he went. Jenny and her mother and father were the first to arrive for the party. Bobby went outside, and Jenny, of course, was right behind him. She watched him throw a ball against the side of the garage. Mommy's having a baby, Jenny said. I know, Bobby answered. Well, that's why she's getting so fat. She's as fat as a pig, don't you think? Bobby frowned, and he said, Jenny, that's not a very nice thing to say. Jenny looked surprised. It isn't? But I love pigs. Well, Bobby just didn't know what to say to that. Bobby, do you like your birthday? Absolutely, Bobby answered. Ooh, what does that word mean? Jenny asked. Bobby stopped throwing the ball, and he thought for a minute. Well, absolutely means yes, but not just a regular yes. A really, really big, big yes. But if you say absolutely not, then that means a really, really big no. Why do you always say it? She asked. Bobby just shrugged, and he said, I like the way it feels on my tongue. Jenny tried to say it. Absolutely. No, 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 not like that, Bobby said. Absolutely. She tried again. Absolutely. Bobby just gave up and said, maybe you'll be able to say it next year, Jenny. Bobby started throwing his ball against the garage again. Hey, Bobby, Jenny said, I know what your mommy and daddy are giving you for your birthday. Bobby caught the ball. You do? He asked. And Jenny nodded. Well, tell me, what am I getting? Jenny put her hands over her mouth. She tried to keep the surprise inside, but she was just so excited, and the words just burst out anyway. She said, you're getting an eagle. An eagle? Bobby was just shocked. I'm getting an eagle? Jenny nodded her head and said, yes, yes. I heard my mommy telling my dad. Well, an eagle's a bird, Bobby said. A big bird. Jenny nodded again. Mommy said it would be nice for you to have a pet. Bobby plunked himself down in the driveway. A pet. He had a pet once, a turtle. It crawled behind the washing machine and Bobby never saw it again. He didn't do a very good job taking care of the turtle. How could he possibly take care of an eagle? Bobby had read about eagles in school. The eagle was the symbol of the United States because it was strong and proud. Maybe his parents wanted him to be strong and proud too. Jenny tugged at Bobby's shirt. What's the matter? Don't you like eagles, Bobby? Well, I like them okay, he thought. But then he thought about, how am I going to keep an eagle in my room? They're just so big. Well, Jenny said, "You don't have to worry about that, Bobby, because it's a baby eagle." "Well, how do you know that?" Bobby said. "Mommy saw it, and she said it was so cute and so small and very, very soft." Well, that definitely sounded like a baby eagle. But baby eagles grow. Didn't his parents know that? Brian and Ryan arrived with their parents. They let Bobby play a game of three-way catch with them. They were being very nice to Bobby because it was his birthday. "Do you know what I'm getting for my birthday?" Bobby asked. Brian and Ryan looked at each other. Oops. "Well, we're not supposed to tell," Ryan said. "It's a surprise," Brian said. "Well, I don't like surprises," Bobby said. "Well, okay. We're giving you a book," Brian said. "It's about dinosaurs," Ryan added. "Well, let me ask you something," Bobby asked. "Have you heard anything about a bird?" "What, you mean like a parakeet?" Ryan asked. "Not exactly," Bobby said. Obviously, the twins hadn't heard anything about a bird. The yard was set up with tables for a cookout. Bobby's dad was grilling. Bobby decided to pretend that he didn't know that there was an eagle in his future. Mrs. Quinn called everyone to come to eat. Bobby had a delicious hot dog and a hamburger and a lot of chips. He didn't think he had room for cake. Then his father carried out a big square cake. It had chocolate frosting and the words "Happy Birthday, Bobby" on it. Bobby ate 2 pieces of cake, one with ice cream. Finally, Bobby's father said, "It's time to open presents." Bobby felt his stomach go up and down. Maybe it was all that food. Or maybe it was the thought of getting an eagle. He tried to practice making a surprised face, a happy surprised face. "Are you all right, Bobby?" his father asked. "You look so strange." "Oh, no, I'm fine, Dad. I'm good, I'm okay." "Well then, let's open up the presents," Mr. Quinn said. Bobby got lots of nice presents. There was the dinosaur book from Brian and Ryan. His parents in Florida sent him a check. Jenny's family gave him a paint set. Bobby's mother smiled. "And now it's time for your special present," she said. His father said, "Close your eyes." Bobby was glad to close his eyes. It would be easier to look surprised when he opened them. "Okay, Bobby," his father called. "You can look." Bobby opened his eyes. He didn't have to pretend to be surprised at all, or happy. In his father's arms was a puppy, the cutest, squirmiest little dog Bobby had ever seen. It's a beagle," said his father. A 5-month-old beagle puppy. Bobby took the puppy. He whispered in the dog's ear, "You're not an eagle, you're a beagle." He turned the puppy around and looked her in the eyes. Absolutely the prettiest beagle in the whole wide world. "What are you going to name your dog?" Bobby's mother asked. Bobby was sitting at the kitchen table. The puppy bit at his shoe. "I have to find just the right name," he told his mom. "It's been 3 days," his mother said. "We can't start training the puppy until we give her a name. What about Snoopy? The Beagle and Peanuts cartoon is named Snoopy." "No," Bobby shook his head. "There was already one dog named Snoopy. Why have another one?" Bobby wanted a name that was special. "Well, how about Rover?" his mother asked as she started lunch. "Or King?" girl, Bobby said. Oh, that's right. Well, how about Queenie? Or maybe Princess, Mrs. Quinn suggested. But Bobby shook his head. Bobby's father came into the kitchen. I have a name, he said. Bobby looked up. Let's name the puppy Trey. T-R-E-Y. Trey. It's another word for 3, Mr. Quinn told Bobby. The puppy has 3 colors. She's mostly white, but she has streaks of brown and little bits of black. Trey, said Bobby. He looked into the puppy's eyes. They were the colors of dark chocolate. Hi, Trey, he called. The little beagle gave Bobby a funny look. Nope, Bobby said. That's not it. His father sighed. Well, try to come up with something pretty soon. Bobby picked up his puppy and a library book about beagles. He went outside. The backyard had a fence all around it, so the dog couldn't run away. He put his puppy down and began to look through the book. Bobby had read this book 3 times since he checked it out of the library. He'd learned a lot about beagles. He learned that they were dogs that liked to run and chase things, and that they could be wild. They were also dogs that liked to chew, and this puppy had already chewed up the wrappings from Bobby's birthday presents. Bobby closed the book. He watched the dog as she ran around the yard. She was not a shy dog. She loved running up to people. She thought everyone was her friend. This puppy reminded him of his favorite babysitter, Lucy. Bobby was very sad when Lucy had to move away. Lucy was always happy to see him. She had lots of friends. Sometimes she would take Bobby to the park. They would see other children there. He would try to hide behind her, but Lucy would just whisper in his ear, Bobby, you're a great kid. And then she would take him by the hand to meet the other children. Bobby didn't feel so shy when he was with Lucy. Lucy? That would be the perfect name for my puppy. The dog was pretty like Lucy, and brave like Lucy, and lots of fun like Lucy. Yes, he was going to name his beagle Lucy. Bobby tried it out. Come, Lucy! Come, Lucy! And Lucy stopped running. Lucy girl, come here! And the little puppy bounded over to Bobby. Bobby picked her up and she started licking his face. Okay, okay, Bobby laughed. I get it. You like the name Lucy. Lucy stopped licking. She looked right at Bobby and nodded her head. That's what it looked like anyway. Wow, Lucy, Bobby said. You already know your name. Was he lucky or what? Lucy was smart. Lucy was beautiful. Lucy could understand human talk. And most of all, Lucy liked him. Lucy wasn't just the best dog in the world. She was his friend. And that's where we're going to stop today. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll read a little bit more about Lucy and Bobby. I know you're going to like the rest of this book. It's going to make your heart very happy. So, I'm going to wrap the day up the same way we always do, by singing our hand washing song. So is everybody ready? You know what to do. Roll up those sleeves and get ready, because this is a good reminder for all of us about how important it is to wash our hands several times a day, especially before we eat, or if we've been outside when we come in the house, or if we've been touching our face, which people do without even realizing it. So you ready? We're gonna wash those germs away. Strong and healthy every day. Oh, I forgot the words, but you know the words. We make wise choices so we stay well. We're gonna wash those germs away. We're gonna wash those germs away. Strong and healthy every day. We make wise choices so we stay well. We're gonna wash those germs away. We make wise choices in every way. We're gonna wash those germs away. Yay, I got through it. I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, but when I put my mind to it, all the words came flooding right back. So, have a great rest of the day, and I'll look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye.